The moon aspects Neptune. So we know that the moon deal with emotion. We know that the moon is your intuitive feeling. But what is Neptune? Neptune is a planet that deal with divinity. It's your spiritual essence of who you are. And this is the core of all you is. And so we talking about spirituality. This also deal with your psyche mind, your psychic mind. Better yet, this deal with the subconscious, the underworld. So when we deal with Neptune, we speaking of unconditional love. We speaking of harmony. We speaking of creative personality who has creative powers, who is magical through their creative abilities to manifest through their creative psychic mind. It speaks of those who want a better world, those who know what spiritual is, who know energy, who feel energy, those super sensitive, those who was very emotional. Because Neptune itself is very emotional, just like the moon. And so when you got the moon conjunction Neptune, your emotions is divine. Your emotions is having fun about life. Your emotions is you want to be about life, but you pick up on all these emotions all around you. So sometimes it can clog you up from having fun or being about life. So you want to be that free soul, that free spirit, the one who shares your unconditional love. And so where do your love goes when you got the moon conjunction Neptune? If this your placement, I want everybody to listen right here, because the moon conjunction Neptune will carry out through all of the other aspects. Now, we got moon conjunction Neptune. The moon is blended in with Neptune. So this makes you super psychic, super spiritual, highly intuitive. This makes you very clairvoyant, very clairsentient, pretty much a medium or clairaudience. You got all the psychic abilities. All you had to do, because it's nasty there, is recognize your energy, learn your energy, learn what it's about, learn what it means. Because if you do see spirits, this is what the energy represents. You deal with the spiritual world. That's why you need some type of faith or belief to stand on. You need some type of faith or belief to stand on. And if you're not, you feel like you ain't in tune with life. So you need the faith base to be in tune with life. You need anything that deal with divinity or spiritual. And so this is when you got moon conjunction Neptune. So you're more the type where you're so sensitive until you can be snappish and thinking that people getting at you, or you can be escapist. And the way you escape is through alcohol and drugs. Now, this is just the moon conjunction Neptune. Now, I'm going to show you how it play out through the other aspects. So this just blend in with who you are. This is a strong part of who you are. When you got the moon conjunction, means blending in. The moon blend in with Neptune. So this makes you definitely an intuitive spiritual warrior, spiritual genius. Highly intuitive, can read people's mind and know about emotions, emotional intelligence. You can relate to people emotions, and you like to live through emotions. This is your world, emotional world, the Astro world. So boom, how it operates here is that you love anything that's creative. You love anything that deal with music, anything that's harmonized. So music, anything that's harmonized. You like energy itself. So anything that deal with energy, you want to know about the spiritual world. You like to know about the paranormals of the world. So you truly into that, because it's just a part of who you are. Everything, even if you don't be aware of it or not, you probably don't even think of why you always into things that deal with paranormal, a thing that deal with psychic ability, a thing that deal with astrology and numerology, a things that deals with anything that's spiritual, divine. Why you want to know about a person's soul? Why you want to know about spirits in general? And why do you dream a lot? And why do you see spirits? You know what I mean? Why do you go through what you go through? Why do you suffer when dealing with trying to balance yourself out emotionally? And also, why do you always use your intuition and you don't really use logical thinking for almost anything, for really nothing? You really don't use logical thinking. You mostly use your intuition. You got that intuitive feeling. You just know, because like you done experienced it from a last life. That's how you always feel. A lot of times you don't even feel like you from this planet, because you got the moon conjunction Neptune. You don't even feel like you belong here. So, because a lot of times that's why you stay isolated, because you don't even feel like you belong here or you from this planet. because you feel like people can't relate to your spirit. Now, I got moon square Neptune. I'm going to go into that in a minute. All these placements is very important. The energy is there. Now, you got moon conjunction Neptune. You also is a type who want to do everything spiritual or see everything as spiritual. I mean, you might be the type, if you started out in religion, it's because you thought you needed something to make you strong or something to have belief in. You just know there's a higher power, there's a higher source. You just know that. All your life you've been knowing that. And I'm gonna show you how to play out through the other aspects. See, right here is how you make it. You can play it like a sextile, or you can play it like a trine, or you can play it like a square, or you can play it like an opposition. See, the conjunction could take on all forms because this blend in. The moon blend in with your Neptune, so you can play it like you're a new jack, or you're growing into it, or this your potential, or you can play it like, which is a sextile, or you can play it like a trine, which is your natural gift, and you can abandon your skills and your gift, or you can play it like a square, and you can go through everything that's spiritual to become your better self, or a spiritual master, or you can play it like a opposition. You don't care about your divinity, you don't care about spiritual and stuff like that, or your emotion could oppose your divinity. You got low self-esteem when it comes to spirituality. So boom, I'm still on the moon conjunction Neptune. So you are the type who's charming, and if you don't have faith in a divine source or some type of divinity, you definitely will suffer through habits, it could be alcohol, drugs, it could be sex. You're gonna overindulge into something. You got to fulfill your pleasures. The pleasure of the soul, with you deal with the spiritual aspect. You need your divinity. That's why it's good for you to get into metaphysics. It's good for you to know the ancestor of the culture. It's good for you to be spiritual and not religious, because religion puts you in a box, and you know it ain't right. You can feel it. You know it ain't right because you're the truth seeker. What you're seeking for your divinity. You're seeking for what is. And once you realize this through spirituality or metaphysics, this when you'll win. And so, with this being said, you the type always float around life and want to always flow in, which means you always fit in with your environment. You're very adaptable. Instead of being your own source, you're always blending in with other people. So you can adapt to any environment. You can adapt to almost anything. But so with faith, you won't take on everybody else's energy. You won't be like nobody else. You be yourself, and you can teach what divinity is. So this is what you need. You the type who can adapt to any soul. You always want to help. You always giving, and you always there for the underdogs. You might be the type who be there for people who at the lowest, like homeless people. Might be the one who volunteer to help the homeless, or you always taking up for those who doing bad or on lower frequency. Yeah, you got to fight for the underdog. So this is what you got to be careful of, is not to be a martyr. Now, I want everyone who listen, if this is not your placement, which means moon conjunction Neptune, that means you got the other placements. But you need to listen to this, because I don't have to go into full details with moon Neptune aspects is, because I'm giving it to you now through conjunction. Conjunction is it just who you are. It blend in with who you are. So now, and the moon conjunction Neptune person can play out through all of them. So with this being said, since you got an idea, you're the type who creative, the one who love to be in your creative mind, who love the arts, love photography, who love anything that's divinity, numerology, astrology. This is what you love. You love anything that deal with divine, reading things that's divine, or knowing about divinity, learning about cultures and stuff like that. Anything that deal with the spiritual world is what you want to learn about and know about, because you always try to find yourself. And when you do find that glow, you become that healer, that psychic, because this is a healer placement. You become the master healer, the light bringer. So with this placement, you're charming, you're beautiful, you got a beautiful soul, always thinking about beauty, always thinking about love, and you want to spread your love to those who need it, always giving and always supporting people. Now, and you also support people that's outside of your family a lot of times. So you need to be structured into your family, since it's the moon conjunction Neptune. your focus is on the family aspects. And those who ain't spiritual, you could be too self-righteous. So watch out for that. Don't be too self-righteous, because of those who not acting like you or being like you, which mean divine, and those who not faster than you, don't take it out on them. You just an old soul. This is Moon, Neptune, old soul of who you are. When you got Moon conjunction Neptune. So also, this makes you very creative, and you creative in the home, in the house. You like family, you like structure. And if your family, personal family or biological family isn't spiritual, you're gonna build your family that's spiritual. So everybody who's divine, everybody who walking in the right light, that's who you embrace. So you definitely embrace your mother, because you understand this is very spiritual. It's the way you're born. So boom. Now, when you got the Moon, Trine, Neptune, since you already heard what Moon conjunction is, Neptune, this Moon conjunction fits you, but the way it fits you, the way the Moon conjunction Neptune fits you is through the Trine. So Moon, Trine, Neptune is this your gift. Everything I spoke about, the Moon conjunction Neptune, this your gift. So your gift is your divinity. So you're here to carry out your gift. This is a natural talent, a natural gift, a natural part of you. So if you don't utilize this, then you'll be on the other side. You're going to be on the downside, going through it, suffering. So you need that faith. You need that faith. You need to use your gift. You need to be that healer. You need to be that psychic. You need to be the one who teach about spirituality. You need to be that photographer. You need to be that creative artist. You need to be the one who give and who help, because it's your Trine. Your Trine is your gift. And if you don't do this, you forget your gift, you X out your powers. So be careful not to X out your powers. You might let other things in your natal chart take over. So the Moon, because this is something easy to you, being divine, being spiritual, being the healer, seeing spirits, dealing with the spiritual world or realm, is something that's easy to you. Being creative is something that you do naturally and easily. So this your gift, which means that it could be so easy to you that you forget about your gift, that you just ban it and exit out. And so this is how I play through the Trine. So the Moon conjunction Neptune, how I play through the Trine, it's just like what I say, it's your gift. So all the traits that I speaks of Moon conjunction Neptune is you, but this is your gift. Now, how I play out through the Moon, play out through Sextile Neptune. Okay, this is your potential. Moon, Sextile, Neptune, this is your potential. But mean that you got the potential to be the spiritual healer, the spiritual master, but you got to grow in it or activate this power. The energy is there, and you know it's there. And so when you walk into your divine light, you'll see your power, because it's nasty. It flow easy with you. Because Neptune people like to take the easy way out. They like the easy flow. They can go with the flow. So like the Moon conjunction Neptune can go with the flow. The Moon Trine Neptune, this your gift that you can go at the flow, be camouflaged, adaptable, and fit in with other people. And since the Moon Trine Neptune, the way you go at the flow, you grow into it. You learn how to go at the flow and master yourself. So when anytime you got Sextile, this is an easy flow, which means that all you got to do, walk into the light and activate it, you'll see how easy it was for you. You just got to walk into the light and you'll grow into it. Like with Trine, it's your natural gift that you can abandon it. Now with Sextile, you got to grow into the activated. And once you do that, you'll master who you are. You master spiritual realm. You'll know about self-love. And self-love, once you love yourself, then you can love others. You'll understand all of that. You got the potential because the energy is there and you know it's there. You know what I mean? So when you activate it, you become the healer, the spiritual master, the psychic, and everything that you need to be. You got to grow into it. That's all it is. That's how I play out right here. It's all the traits of the Moon conjunction Neptune, but how I play out in Sextile, you got to grow into it and activate it. Now, when the Moon square Neptune, this is my placement, you will go through things, your emotions will go through things that deal with the spiritual world. It will go through things that deal with ghosts and spirits. You might see spirits. You may always searching for your divinity, always trying to find yourself. You may have a hard time and struggle and even become mentally insane or mental health and go through medications and go through things just like how I did. especially if you don't embrace Christianity or you embrace Islam, like what I did. I went through it because it didn't seem real and it never helped me. And so I kept going through, kept searching for myself. Until now, I'm finally there. I'm finally stable. And so you will go through it. If the moon square your Neptune, you will go through things that deal with the spiritual world. You will see ghosts. You will see ghosts. You will hear voices. And you might even see spirits and things of that nature. You will go through things that deal with Neptune energy. And then the things that you go through, it will teach you. It will help you. You will experience it. And once you come into balance and have a chemical balance, because you was in balance before, this is how you can teach others. And so it's about what you go through. You go through all the things that I spoke of, that's moon, conjunction Neptune. And so how I play out in the square is all the things that the moon, conjunction Neptune, you go through it. It means that you will go through it when dealing with the spiritual family, trying to be divine, or trying to walk in that light. You have a struggle. And then after you experience all of this, by seeing spirits and ghosts, hearing voices and going through it and all that there, you will eventually reach your divinity. Once you reach your divinity, once you master yourself and you come into balance of who you are, and you'll be the best teacher. Those who have like squares and oppositions and sextiles, they can be the best teachers because they got to go through a lot of stuff to perfect their gift. This is their gift, but they got to go through things to perfect it. Like with sextile, they got to grow into activate it. Because, Trine is natural to you, and conjunction is just part of who you are. So squares, they got to go, they will go through it early in their life, that there was who they are, trying to find out who they are, searching for their soul of who they are. And sometimes they don't know their identity. Sometimes, like I ain't knew my identity when the moon square Neptune, until you become your higher self, your higher powers, until you know who you are, until you learn the arts of healing, the arts of formulas, the arts of creating your own magic, your own reality, your own vibration. Because this deal with magic, this deal with spiritual realm, this deal with psychic ability, this deal with everything that's divine and the way you were brought into this life. So boom, moon square Neptune, you will go through things that deal with divinity and your creative powers and learning your creative powers. And once you master that, you'll be the best because the energy is there. You got the energy. This part of who you are. You just will go through it and suffer a little bit, and it's up to you if you will master that. So after you done went through it and you embrace your powers and you learn about it, you can teach others the same powers, how to be healed. You can teach people ways to heal. You can teach people anything that deal with divinity, how they can grow into their higher powers. Now, when you got moon opposing Neptune, your emotions oppose spirituality. I mean, spirituality is like you don't know what spirituality is. You oppose it. You oppose being in the fantasy world. Because one thing you got to understand, that Neptune is a dreamer. And so you might oppose dreaming, oppose your psychic abilities, and don't claim no gifts, even if it's there. You might oppose anything that deals with anybody who's divine. You might fight against anything that's divine. And also, you might oppose your emotions. You might oppose your mother. You might oppose the place you stay. You might oppose anything and don't believe in psychic ability. Don't believe in higher powers. You might go through it when you oppose it, because you might oppose it. But in true essence, you're going to find out that you need spirituality to help you float, to help you arise to your higher self. You will find out that you need spirituality, and it do help you. And once you understand that, you can be one of the best teachers. The best teachers, once you come into balance of that, because a lot of people with displacement won't be the one who be divine. But those who do have this placement, when they do be divine, they be one of the best teachers, because they didn't even thought it was there. They didn't even thought that their divinity was there. They didn't even, because they opposed it. They was more on the practical realm, more of the realistic realm, where they don't want to dream or fantasize and don't want to use their powers, because they oppose it. To them, it was like a joke to them at the time, until they found out that they really need that power, because they opposed it. Now when you got the moon opposing Neptune, this is opposing everything that deal with the divine. And so you can be a very dangerous being, very explosive, and because you got nothing to keep you stable. So this is why you need spirituality. Once you find that out, you need that balance. This is how you win. Because the moon conjunction Neptune set it off. So once you learn the moon conjunction Neptune, you know how to play it through. You know how to play it through the trine, the sextile, the square, and the opposition. Because conjunction got all abilities. The conjunction, moon conjunction Neptune can play out through all of them, which means it can play out through. It can play out through the sextile. It can play out through the trine. It can play out through the square, and it can play out through the opposition. So the conjunction, this is naturally part of you, and a lot of times because it's part of you, you might a lot of them don't even succeed mastering themselves. And moon trine Neptune, this is your natural gift. A lot of times these people don't use their powers because it's so natural. It's like it ain't nothing. It's naturally. But sextile, they got to work for it, so they appreciate their divinity. And so the moon square Neptune, when they do master themselves and learn their divinity and learn their power through the struggles that they go through, they be the best master teachers and know how to heal. So these people be the most powerful people. And also those who have moon opposition Neptune are the most powerful people because they got to go through it. Anytime you got to go through it, you have experience. And so moon opposing Neptune, you could oppose dreams and all that there and don't think it's real. So with this being said, I think I done brought this light to you. It's definitely what it be. Ashe.